that this framework addresses the needs of the country, that this framework actually raises to the levels, to the ambitions that is needed by our country. So Jordan's cybersecurity framework actually is a risk-based framework. We have developed this framework also in risk quantification basis, and we believe this framework is now ready to be actually released. In the coming few days, we'll be releasing for public consultation. We'll have like 1 month or 2 months for public consultations to receive any feedback. And this is also an invite, actually, an invitation for all of you. When this framework released, we would like to hear from you. We would like to understand how you see the framework, how you think that this framework will be applicable and will be an added value, actually, to our Jordanian ecosystem. So this is very important that in the next coming few days, when this framework is released, that we hear from you. It's not enough, actually, to close doors and develop this framework by our own selves and by our partners, and then release it for public and enforce it to sectors. We need to hear from the people who will apply it. We need to hear from the different sectors that will have this framework applied to their systems. So they will be the people who will be affected by this framework. So it is necessary, actually, to hear from it. So I'll take this opportunity until they make the slides ready to talk a little bit about the National Cybersecurity Center and the process that we went through, actually, when we developed this framework. So NCSC was established in 2021 based on the Cybersecurity Law number 16 for 2019. So the law was actually endorsed and was issued by the Parliament in 2019, and it took us about 2 years, actually, to start NCSC. So NCSC started business in 2021. Now, before that, actually, before NCSC was in place, Jordan, actually, we started building our own capacities, building our own capabilities very early, actually. First cybersecurity policies were issued in 2008. Our first strategy, actually, was adopted and was released in 2012. So the National Cybersecurity Program in Jordan actually was started very early. We were among the first nations who adopted cybersecurity and realized the importance of cybersecurity. So our National Cybersecurity Program, or what we call NCP, in fact started in 2011. We moved forward. We built capabilities during that period after 2011 until we reached 2019, when we developed the cybersecurity law, which by this law NCSC was established, in fact. So as you know, NCSC has 3 main roles. NCSC is a regulatory entity in basics, so we do regulations. So NCSC, we are so NCSC, as I said, was established in 2021. We have been here for 2 years, NCSC is, as I said, is basically a regulatory entity. We also the entity that oversight cybersecurity, let's say, in the whole country. Plus, we are running operations. Sometimes people ask me, how come you are a regulatory entity and at the time we are running operations. This is the situation that we found ourselves in actually. But in fact, yeah, we are a regulatory entity, we are developing regulations for the country, but at the same time, we are running operations for the government. And sometimes we help critical infrastructures actually provide some services for critical infrastructure. So this is our, let's say this is NCEC in a nutshell. But most importantly, I would like to talk about cybersecurity framework. So when we started thinking about developing this framework, there are two approaches actually. It's either you go on the compliance approach or you go on the risk-based approach. When an incident happens and you talk to the person in charge, I mean, the first thing you will ask, what are the things that I need to buy to fix this thing? But it's not just technology. This is, we need to shift actually this mentality. We need to focus more on other things than technology. Doesn't mean that technology sometimes help in mitigating risks, but it is not the only solution that will help us reduce the risk. The other thing in our philosophy is you need to understand your business. If you don't understand your business, you will not understand the risks associated with your business. If you can't model your business, you can't model your threats. How you're going to build a threat model, for example, if you don't understand your business? You need to understand your business, you need to model your business, and you need to have activity-based costing. You need to have a cost for each activity in your business. In this way, you can quantify risk. Whenever something bad happens, you can quantify the risk because you quantify the activity. You have activity-based costing. So the first thing you need to do is to build your business models, actually, to understand your business. And this is a paradigm shift, actually, because most of people are focusing on technology and they don't focus on business. Again, you need to understand your business, and this is very important. The other thing in our philosophy is cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. Everybody has a stake, and this is why we are working with everybody. We are working with regulators, we are working with academia, and this is why we have partnership with HTU, this is why we have partnerships with other academic institutions, because again, when Nick asked what we need from government, he said we need more academies, we need more education. So again, our philosophy is not just having a checklist, having just technology solutions. This is something holistic. We need to think about cybersecurity in a holistic way. So when we defined our philosophy, then we actually identified our principles for building this cybersecurity framework. Again, strategic, and this is something actually Nick talked about. We want to make sure that cybersecurity is aligned with business strategies. We don't want to think about cybersecurity as separate from business. We need to align it with business. We need to align it with your business goals. So it's very important that our framework makes sure that whoever implements our framework have this vision actually to align strategic goals with cybersecurity goals. The other principle is what we call it enterprise-driven. Cybersecurity is connected to all elements in the organization. It's not an IT issue. Unfortunately, a lot of people think or imagine cybersecurity as an IT issue. But cybersecurity is connected to all elements in the organizations, in HR, in finance, in all the elements of the organization. This is this is the way we need to think about cybersecurity. We need to ensure that entities have cybersecurity programs that protects all organizations' digital assets, no matter where they are and no matter where they are stored and how they are accessed. The third element is livable. We want to make sure that whatever frameworks or whatever programs or whatever strategies you adopt, they are livable. They are living programs. They don't end by an auditing program. They are living programs and they continue to adapt to emerging threats. Economical, this is also, I believe, understood, and this is also something Nick and Jack talk about. Economics. Economics is very important in cybersecurity. Return of investment. You want to make sure whenever you invest in cybersecurity, have a return. You don't want to, invest on things that not are priority for you. You need, as Jack said, that you need to prioritize your needs and your risks. And capability-based, and this is something I'm going to go back and talk about, because our framework also is capability-based. Means we are building capabilities. We are asking entities to build capabilities. And we need to measure these capabilities. We need to measure the maturity of each capability that every entity builds. And the last one is trust. And as Muhammad has always said, actually, trust itself is a vulnerability. Trust itself is a vulnerability. But when for example, if an entity doesn't trust anything, this will comfort me. Because now I will trust their measures, I will trust their cybersecurity systems, I will trust the services they provide. Because they don't trust everything. They make sure that whenever every element in their system or every element in their process is tested and evaluated. So going back to the slides, actually to the framework, going back to the framework. So we have identified the philosophy, we have identified the principles, then actually we identified the capabilities that is needed by entities, the capabilities that each entity needs to build. We have identified 5 capabilities. Those are main capabilities, but under each capability there are a lot of sub-capabilities. What we will measure actually as a cybersecurity center, what we will measure is how mature the capabilities that you have built. And we have a maturity scale from 1 to 5. So we'll not go in, like in compliance frameworks, we will not have a checklist. We will come and see how you build your capabilities, how mature are your capabilities for other control frameworks. So this is why very important actually that we, with other regulators, that we work together to make sure that we integrate our framework with existing frameworks, for example, Central Jordan Bank or TRC, Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, or other regulators in the country who have their own frameworks. We want to make sure that their own frameworks are applicable and want to make sure that their frameworks is integrated with our frameworks. And of course, we'll have a national audit program. Our national audit program, as I said, will focus on measuring the maturity level of your capabilities. We want to measure the capabilities that you have built. Now, if you have built the capabilities, we are sure you will be in compliance with every framework. If you build the capabilities, you will be for sure in compliance with NIST, with ISO, or whatever frameworks you are adopting or you are implementing in your organization. So, our role actually, after developing this framework, will be to work with regulators, as I said, to make sure that our framework is integrated with their frameworks and we can have all these frameworks. Because again, we don't want to have too many frameworks and have, let's say, more headache for CISOs and for businesses. We want to make sure that our framework is integrated with existing frameworks and they can be applied at the same time on organizations. Also, what we have done in the past, actually, we have conducted several workshops. And this is very important, and I'm very happy to take this opportunity as a workshop, actually, to explain our framework and to talk about our framework. We have conducted several workshops for governmental entities. We trained, actually, employees on the framework, and we trained even employees on business processing and how to build their business processing. So we believe these are the things that we need, as NCSC, we need to emphasize on. Again, NCSC will enable the public and private entities to build their own cyber defense capabilities. We believe this framework will facilitate this function. We believe effective and efficient cyber risk management will be enabled by this framework by integrating risk quantification in the capability model that I talked about. Our framework will enable proper control risk-based implementation, and this will drive control effectiveness and will drive control efficiency. And because we are focusing, again, we are not focusing on the controls, we are focusing on the maturity. Our frameworks will enable maturity model on a scale from 1 to 5 to all entities. And also our framework will be livable, will continue monitoring every entity's achievements. We'll have like a GRC platform. Through this GRC platform, we will monitor all the entities and be able to see what progress actually they made in their journey. This is actually our framework. Again, this is very important. Hopefully within the coming days, this framework will be released for public consultation. We would like, very happily, we would like to hear from you. We would like to hear from other regulators. We would like to hear from businesses. We would like to hear from banks, from entities, from other governmental entities, because this feedback will be very helpful for us. And again, this framework is a risk-based framework. We envision this framework as applicable framework, actually. And this is why we need more workshops, actually. We need workshops to talk to people. Because I said in the beginning, we can't just enforce this framework. We need to talk to people. We need to listen to people. And I'm very pleased, actually, to have dedicated workshops for this framework. We need to discuss it in further. I believe our partner, Mohammed from October, will be happy also during our discussions, maybe in the breaks. If you have any questions about this framework, how you can participate also in finalizing the final draft, we will be happy to have this discussion with you.